Hey guys, welcome back. In last lecture we learned about JSX, and in this lecture we'll continue with Lyfecycle functions. So let's start. Go to your coding editors, and here we can navigate to screen1.js, and I will introduce you Lyfecycle functions here. So Lyfecycle function is just a normal function that's part of a React framework, and it's called in different stage of a React component. A render function is a Lyfecycle function, and it's the only function that is required. You must implement the render function in a React component, because this function is a rendering view on your screen. Okay, but we have more functions apart the render function, and let's figure it out what we have more. Let's go to our browsers. And here to Google search, and we can search for React Native Lyfecycle functions. So React Native Lyfecycle functions. Okay, and let's enter this website, react.component, React. Let's scroll down here, and you can see that we can use different Lyfecycle functions for mounting as a constructor, render component did mount for updating a render, and component did update, and for unmounting component will mount. And you can read more about these Lyfecycle functions when you click on a function name. So let's click here on the render. And you can see here the render function is the only required function in a class component. Okay, so I will show it to you how it works. Let's go back to our coding editors. And here we can implement multiple Lyfecycle functions. So above render, I will implement constructor like this. Okay, now we can implement component did mount. So component did mount like this. And component will leave, I think. So let's check it out in documentation. Let's see. Overview here, mounting, component did mount, render, constructor. We have this, updating, component did update, and component will unmount. So I will copy this name, component will unmount, and let's go back to our coding editors and let's implement this function. So component will unmount like this, and component did update. So component did update. Update like this, perfect, and we can console log out some text. So instead of a constructor, I will write console log constructor as a string, and I can copy this console log and let's paste it in every function, just like this. And we can write here also the name of a Lyfecycle. So here, component did mount, component will unmount, and component did update, just like this. And I will also write debugger in every function. So debugger here, debugger here, debugger here, debugger here, and don't forget render is also Lyfecycle function. So debugger here, perfect. Let's save everything and let's go back to your simulators. And we have an issue here. We are missing supercall in the constructor. So let's fix it. Let's go back to our coding editors. And instead of a constructor, let's write supercall like this. And this is required because we are extending a React component, and a supercall will execute everything what we have in a constructor of our React component. Okay, so let's save everything. Let's go back to our simulators. And we are still displaying this error, so maybe we just need to reload the JavaScript. And you can find command for reloading JavaScript on the bottom of the screen. And for reload, you need to press Command and R button. So let's do it, Command plus R, and this will refresh JavaScript bundle. Perfect. So now everything works, and I want to debug my code. So let's type now Command and a D button, so Command plus D, and this will open the screen for you. And you can click here, Debug Remote JavaScript. So let's click this, and this will open Browser tab for you. And let's right click here and let's inspect this page. Okay, and what can I do now? I can go back to simulator. So here, and let's press here Command and R button to refresh bundle. So let's refresh this page. Perfect. And now we can click here to navigate to screen 1 because we specified all of our Lyfecycle functions and debuggers inside of a screen 1. So let's click here. Perfect, and we can go to our browsers. And now you will see I will be inside of my code, and first thing, when we are mounting our component to the screen, we are going inside of a constructor. Perfect. So here we are calling super, and we are consoling log out constructor. Alright, let's forward this. And the second function is the render. So now we are rendering our view instead of our screens of our simulators. Let's forward this. And after this, we are getting inside component did mount. Let's forward this. Perfect. So we executed almost all of these Lyfecycle functions. And if you want to execute component will unmount, you need to change your screen. So we need to navigate somewhere else. Let's go to our simulators and let's click here, go back. Just like this. Let's go back to our Google Chrome. And you see we are getting inside component will unmount. Perfect. So let's forward this execution. And there is left one more Lyfecycle function, and this is component did update. Okay, let's go back to our coding editors. And the component did update is very related to state and the props of a component. And I will talk about state and the props in big detail in the next lectures. So don't worry if you don't understand the state and the props now, but I will talk about it anyway because I want to show you component did update. So let's write here, instead of a constructor, I will create a state of this component. So let's write here this state, and this will be object, and I want to specify here variable of title. So just title here, and title, let's write here I am screen 1, just like this. And by the way, we can remove these debuggers from here, we don't need them anymore. So let's remove debugger from here, debugger from here, and debugger from did update. And what I will do here, I want to change this state. And I want to change this state instead of a component did mount. So instead of a component did mount, I will write this set state, just like this, and I want to provide here object, and I want to change our title. So write here title, and let's write here I am updated screen 1, just like this. Perfect. And now I will write debugger instead of a component did mount. And now I will write debugger inside of component did update. And now I will write debugger instead of a render, and this can stay here. So this will be very interesting what will happen now. So let's save everything and let's go back to our simulators. Okay, wait for refresh, and we can go actually to browsers because something will be executed very soon. So let's navigate to our screen 1. Just like this, let's go back to our browsers. And now we are getting into the render function, that's the first thing after constructor, that's fine. And now inside of a component did mount. And I'm changing here a state. I'm setting title to I'm update screen 1. So let's forward this. And when I will change the state of a component, I will execute the render function. That's the first thing when you change the state of your component. And the second thing, you will get inside component did update. Okay guys, so that's it, that's Lyfecycle functions, and I hope you have more understanding of Lyfecycle functions now, and if something is not clear here, don't worry, we will talk about Lyfecycle functions, state, and the props in separate lectures. But maybe you already noticed that